Soundgarden is one of the biggest grunge bands of the 90s. Here's a video dedicated to their drum sound. Founded in 1984, Soundgarden is one of the original bands that helped put grunge on the map in the late 1980s and through its peak in the early 90s. Coming from Seattle, they were part of the scene right up from the beginning and remained one of the genre's most important acts up until the death of lead singer Chris Cornell in 2017. A big part of Soundgarden's sound is the drum sound. Their drummer Matt Cameron, who also plays for Pearl Jam, is not only a well-versed musician, but also has a very distinct taste in the sound choices he makes. A good example is their biggest hit, Black Hole Sun, off of the album Super Unknown.
Boiling heat, summer stench, 'neath the black, the sky looks dead. Call my name through the cream, and I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come?
This song showcases not only Matt's drumming ability, which comes through in some of the fills he plays, but also his open drum sound. He usually uses a 24-inch bass drum, 12, 13, 16, and 18-inch toms, and a 14x7 Keplinger snare. We looked at our collection of drums and chose our 24x14-inch PDP Concept classic kick drum. We kept the clear Remo Powerstroke 3 batter and stock reso head, which features a porthole. This combination was still left on the drum from our Fallout Boy video. Check that out if you haven't already. The tuning is medium-low, with no wrinkles left when you press the head. The batter head is slightly lower than the reso. Here's how it sounds in the mix. Since we don't have a Keplinger snare, we used our 14x6.5-inch PDP Concept steel snare, which has a pretty thick shell. Matt uses a Remo-coated Emperor batter head, so we did the same. The added weight of this head adds both durability and sustain. The tuning is medium for the batter and relatively high for the reso head in order to make the snare wires very responsive. It sounds like this. For the toms, we put on clear Emperor batter heads, keeping the clear Ambassador on the reso side, just like Matt does. All of the resos are between a second and a third higher than the batters, and the overall tuning is a little higher than you might expect. Here's how they sound. To complete the kit, we once again looked at Matt's setup and chose cymbals from our collection that comes close to the sound we're looking for. We ended up using a pair of 15-inch Zildjian K Light Hats, an 18-inch Projection Crash, an 18-inch K Dark Thin Crash, a 22-inch A Custom Ping Ride, a 19-inch K Dark Thin Crash, and a 19-inch Ultra Hammered China from left to right. To mic up the kit, we used a Biodynamic M88 just inside the porthole of the kick and an M90 Pro X outside the drum for the low end. For the snare, we used M201s on the top and bottom, with the top mic pretty low and pointing towards the edge of the head to capture more overtones. On all of the toms, we used TGI 51s. The mics on the rack toms are pointing towards the center of the drum for more attack, and those on the floor toms are pointing more towards the edge for more tone. This balances out the characteristics of the drums and makes them sound more coherent. For the hi-hat and ride, we used MC930s, completing the kit with two more M90 Pro X's in a spaced pair overhead configuration and an M201 in the room. Before we get the result, we at ArtOfDrumming would like to mention that if you want to help us sustain our work, there's a donation link in the video description below. Our platform ArtOfDrumming.com is free and we want to keep providing that for you. That's why every small donation matters all the more to us. Thank you so much for your support. Now here's Pascal's version of Black Hole Sun.
In my eyes, indisposed, in disguises no one knows. Hides the face, lies the snake, in the sun in my disgrace. Boiling heat, summer stench, beneath the black, the sky looks dead. Call my name through the cream and I'll hear you scream again. Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come?
This era of Soundgarden is probably what most people to this day still associate with the band. But when we did our research for this video, we found out that their sound in the early years was somewhat different. The song Flower from the 1988 album Ultra Mega OK sounds a lot more raw. Take a listen. To recreate this sound, we kept the basic setup and only made a few minor adjustments. Pascal tuned up the snare a half step and added a Rohima mini muff to it in order to deaden it a little bit. It now sounded like this. The toms also had some overtones, so he added Remo crown gels to each one of them. The 13-inch one still had some overtones left, which came from the bottom head. A small roll of gaff tape on that head was an easy fix. The rest of the kit didn't need to be changed, Pascal only redid the mix. Here's his version of Flower. Did you enjoy our recreation as much as those screws? Do you have any suggestions for future videos? We're considering doing a video dedicated to Pearl Jam as well. Let us know in the comments what you think. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more videos like this from us. See you next time.